How's it going, guys? Welcome to another video, and this week we are taking a look at first impressions of Torchlight 3. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I have been having an itch lately to play an ARPG. Now, I know I've been playing a lot of Chronicon on this channel, and if you're watching me and if you're a fan of Chronicon, you may be waiting for another video. Don't worry, I have one in the works, should come out this week. I'm sorry, a little lazy. I've been having some issues with trying to figure out what build I want to kind of showcase and stuff like that. And honestly, not gonna lie, getting a little burnt out on Chronicon. Not because I'm playing it a whole lot, it's just because I gotta use my brain a lot. And when I sit down and play an ARPG, I want just a fun, relaxing ARPG to enjoy the grind. And lately, I've been having difficulties trying to find said ARPG. Now, granted, yeah, you got Diablo 3, you got Path of Exile, you got Torchlight 3 now, and a plethora of probably other ones I don't even know about. But for the most part, I mean, Diablo 3 for me, it's good, I like it, but once I get my build in 20 minutes, I mean, honestly, like, that's just not that fun. I'm sorry. It's the lack of content with that game that pisses me off, and I just can't play it anymore. And with Path of Exile, great game. It's free. If you're looking for a good ARPG, recommend it. Pick it up. It's got a whole buttload of content out there. Honestly, my little dumbass monkey casual brain can't handle that complex of a game. I play it, I get to end game, and I just don't know what I'm doing. I really don't. So today, taking a look, giving it a shot, Torchlight 3, and see where it takes us. All right, so Torchlight 3. If you're a fan of the Torchlight series, I apologize. I'm not a super fan of this series myself. I never played one. Played a little bit of 2. I think I pretty much beat the game on one character at least. I can't remember what class I was playing. But I know I beat the game, but honestly I can't really remember a whole lot from it because if my memory serves me right, the Torchlight franchise has never really had a good... I guess they were never end game driven games, right? Whereas nowadays a lot of ARPGs, it's all about the end game. Whereas Torchlight, they are pretty much almost like, I would argue, tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like they're much more of a story driven game than an end game, right? Does that make sense? I don't know. So yeah, so that's where we're looking at. Apparently, now I'm going in blind with Torchlight 3. I don't know that much about Torchlight 3. I know that supposedly there is an end game content with this game with like some sort of maps and stuff like that. So, you know, we'll see if this game's gonna replace that kind of that drive for me, huh? You know, that endless grind that I seek. So today we're looking at Torchlight 3. So with that all being said, let's take a look at the classes that this game has to offer. And I'm not going to go, this isn't an in-depth guide, in-depth build, or anything like that. This is just first impressions. And for the first 4 classes they offer Sharpshooter. My guess is a ranged character, right? Nothing fancy. We have Dusk Mage. Now, I have seen a little bit of this guy. This guy's pretty cool. He does a mix of like shadow and light, and by doing one or the other, it buffs one or the other. So it's kind of cool. Some cool synergy there. We got our Forged robot, fucking Wally type fucking dude. He looks fucking sweet. And then we got Railmaster, which apparently he summons a train and he babysits a train the whole time. I don't know. Kind of cool. Kind of a neat concept. Haven't really dived into it yet because with this playthrough that we're playing on right now is we're playing the Forged on ridiculous difficulty. And currently where we stand is I have beaten the first act is what I'm calling it, the first sister, the first boss, pretty fucking easy on ridiculous. I don't know about you guys, but I just stood there. I literally just stood in one spot and yeah, I just held down my right click and I won the fight. It's that easy. But yeah, so we beat the first act. We're around level 19, close to level 20. And for the most part, I don't have too many complaints about the game. I mean, I think the game, personally, Torchlight 2, I think looking at it from an aesthetic point, I think they look good. You can't say that they don't look bad. I think they look like a pretty decent game graphically and stuff like that. I mean, ability wise and stuff like that. It's just everything about the game looks good, right? The gameplay itself isn't too difficult, especially on ridiculous difficulty. Now, I'm not trying to say that, I want a harder game or anything like that. I mean, I could go with a little bit more difficulty. I don't know if it's just me picking a badass class like the Forged, or if I'm getting lucky with items that I'm finding. It could be a mix of stuff. But overall, I find the gameplay a little underwhelming for lower levels. But honestly, anymore nowadays with ARPGs, I feel like early game, campaign-wise, doesn't really matter about difficulty. I think it's about that end game, and where that end game difficulty lies is really what people want and kind of what I want in general. So I don't really care about the difficulty. I mean, if we're really wanting difficulty, go play Diablo 2. Go play old school Diablo 3 when Belial was harder than, Diablo himself. It's one of those types of things where I don't expect the campaign to be hard, but I would like a bigger challenge than, especially since I'm playing on Ridiculous. I mean, come on, give it to me. I'm a seasoned vet, okay? I played all the ARPGs, okay? Give me a challenge. All right, but with that being all said, let's take a look at what this game kind of offers for, kind of separation from all the other ARPGs. First and foremost, kind of cool, this game does have like player housing with what they call a fort. Now in this fort, you have various, basically, I don't know what to call them. So in the fort, it kind of offers some, material grinders, basically, shops that you go find material out in the world, bring it back, you refine it, and you take that refined material and build either decorations or other, I guess, buildings or stuff to help you. Like you get these sculptures that give you boost to luck or fire resistance and kind of junk like that. You get a respecking machine. I'm pretty sure later on down the road you probably are able to craft some items or refine some items. So that's kind of what this fort is. It's player housing mixed with kind of where your hub's gonna be, where you can do all your stuff. What is what I imagine, which is kind of cool. I mean, a lot of people like those like kind of player housing and stuff like that. I can't remember if Torchlight 2 had something like that. I don't think they did. And honestly, when it comes down to forts or player housing, I could kind of care less. I mean, I don't know. I'm lazy in that aspect. Like, just give me a spot. You know what I mean? Like, give me a cardboard box outside and between an alley. Like, I'm fine. I don't need anything else. Just give me what I need and I'll be good. But, player housing's kind of cool. So that's one thing that they do different. Another thing that they do different, which I can't remember if they had in Torchlight 2, so I apologize. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. But they have pets in this game. So the pets are kind of cool, kind of not cool. Personally, I'm not too big of a fan on them. Hate me all you want. I mean, they look cool. Like, there's some cool pets. Like, right now, I have a fucking legendary red dragon with a backpack flying around next to me that summons skeletons. Pretty fucking cool. However, I don't think they're really that neat. I don't know I don't know what they can and can't do, how important they are and stuff like that. I mean, for the most part, take it or leave them. Like, it's kind of cool, like the inventory system. Like, you have your own inventory and you have the pet's inventory, and you can have that pet go sell things for you and come back. But honestly, at that point, it's just like, just don't. No, I don't want it. Just give me one big inventory. Yeah, don't do that. Like, you have unlimited teleports anyways. You don't even have to find scrolls or stuff to teleport back home to your fort or to the town you're in. Like, that's just kind of lame. Like, I don't know. Like, take it as you will. But, it's kind of cool. You get a lot of skills. Each pet gets about 4 skills, and depending on how many pets you find, you'll learn their skill and you can add it on there. So it's okay. I mean, like I said, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe late game, end game, there's this crazy ass pet build or some crazy ass pet synergy that I just don't know about, and only time will tell. But for right now, take it or leave it. That's what I'm gonna say there. Outside of that, go ahead and get into the skills and stuff, I guess. So now, in an ARPG, kind of what I'm looking for is I'm looking for like an in-depth skill build, right? Or like in-depth skill system to allow me to have a lot of customization. I love ARPGs or games in general that give you items that are pretty, loose, whether they're sets or something like that, but then you can find it, but can work with multiple abilities. I love that. It leads to a lot of good diversity and just a lot of, cool thing, just a lot of freshness. You play a build and then all of a sudden you find an item and then you think to yourself, oh shit, there's like, I could use this ability instead, whereas in this game, you got your 2 base sets per class, I'm pretty sure. So for the Forged, you have Barrage and Brawl. Kind of neat. Okay, kind of lackluster though. You only have 7 skills in each tree. So I mean, cool. I mean, they're cool abilities, but I kind of wish there was more. And then you get your 3rd tree, I guess, or 3rd page from a relic that you could choose at the beginning when you create your character. In this case, I chose the Blood Drinker, which is kind of cool. Does a lot of AoE, kind of does some self-healing and stuff like that. So it's neat. I like it. But then even in that, though, you only have, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 skills. Most of those are passives. I think only 5 of those are actives. So, I mean, overall, a little lackluster in the skill tree. Now, granted, I am only level 19, close to 20. So, this might expand later on down the road. I don't know. But first impressions, the skill tree seems a little underwhelming to me in terms of in-depthness. I mean, granted, if we're comparing, games that have in-depth builds or skill systems, or stat trees or whatever, I think the king is going to be, Path of Exile, right? But, I'm not wanting another Path of Exile game or that complex. But even Diablo 3, with it being somewhat, you can see, it's limited, but even that I felt like had a lot more versatility and stuff like that. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm just misremembering it or misjudging it. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like I said, first impressions, and you're dealing with a casual monkey here. Okay, I apologize. But so, with the relics, getting into it too, do you have different relics that you can choose from? I don't remember all the forged relics off the top of my head. I know there's like frost, fire, and like poison or something like that. So who knows, maybe you can pick up like another relic, one of those another relics or something, and you can build deeper into that, Possibilities, like I said, are yet to be found, but for the most part right now, take it or leave it, but I also feel like I'm a little low level to be outright criticizing the skill tree. So now getting into items for the most part, so far I think the items are pretty cool. You get a pretty large, equipment inventory. You get 9 items that you can equip roughly, depending on how you do, 9 or 8. So for the most part there, it's kind of like pretty much every other thing. I'm kind of sad to see that there's not like rings or amulets and stuff like that. I can't remember if there were like that in Torchlight 2. Now, if you're playing devil's advocate here, you could say because I'm playing a robot, why the fuck do I need an amulet or a ring? But you could also say I could. So it's hard to say. But you do get, so your base equipment, you get 9 items, and then you also get 3 pet item slots as well. For the most part, the items are pretty neat. Finding a lot of legendaries, I think that's just kind of common with Torchlight. I even think going back to 2, I think I was finding legendary items or unique, epic, whatever you want to call them, pretty early on, and kept finding them relatively easy. And they're pretty good. Like for example, I found this hatch at level 4 like 20 minutes into the game, and I've been using it ever since because it's pretty good. On hit, 2% chance to gain Goblin Rage for 10 seconds, granting immunity to stun and knockback, and increasing critical chance and attack speed to 25%. Like, fuck yeah, dude. Like, I'll take that. I will gladly take the decrease in defense for that attack, for that basically attack speed and critical chance. That's good. And granted, since I'm almost level 20, we haven't even gotten to this, and I can extract that legendary power and use it and replace this with just a base item, which is something cool that this game does let you do from an early standpoint, and that is getting into the Legendarium. So kind of like Diablo 3 where you can extract legendary powers, this game kind of gives it to you right off the hop. I think once you hit level 10, 20, and 40, you unlock additional slots. And basically here, any legendary item that you find, you can put its power in here and use it. So in this case, I'm using 3-7 #7R4 repeater, and the unique power there is Rapid Fire's weapon damage bonus increased by 10 stacks. So if you're unfamiliar with the Forge, his basically starting ranged attack is Rapid Fire. Unleash your torrent of bullets for 62% chest gun damage, gain up to 10 stacks for 10% weapon damage multiplier. rapid fire. Each time you deal damage, buff lasts 5 seconds. So initially this list stacks at 10, so it's a pretty good damage increase. This basically stacks it up to 20, or in my case 23, making it just do more damage. And it's, you know, it's cool. I feel like most of the time in games where they have kind of like this system in place, they kind of reserve it for like later game and stuff like that. So I kind of like how this game kind of just lets you naturally progress through it. But I will say, I do kind of hate how so far, like I said, so far, it seems like you're only limited to 3 legendary powers, which kind of sucks. Like, I don't know, I'm kind of spoiled off Chronicon because I love their system of being able to extract pretty much any item property and slap it onto a build and use it. Like, I don't know about you, but I find that just so intriguing. Like, I just love how they let you basically break the game. You know what I mean? They let you go crazy with it and just have so much versatility there. So I'm kind of sad to see that we're kind of getting back into that pigeonholing items and stuff like that. Like, first and foremost, I think ARPGs are a great game to just make you feel powerful, and I hate when the game limits the amount of power you can have, I guess, you know what I mean? Because it's a PvE game, you know, it's not PvP. You don't need to balance anything with PvP. Let me be crazy, you know what I mean? Let me get to that god status or let me feel like I'm breaking the game, at least. And Chronicon does a good job of making you feel like you just broke the game. So same with probably Path of Exile and stuff like that. So for the most part, I mean, going back to my first impressions of the game, I don't know if you're watching this video, you know, thinking to yourself, should I buy the game? You know, is it worth my time? Is it worth the $40? You know, I can't tell you that. You know, that's up for you to decide. I'm just merely putting this video out there just to spread my thoughts and see what you guys are thinking of. I mean, personally, I think for a $40 game, I think, right, $40, it's a pretty decent game. I mean, I had a lot of fun with Torchlight 2, and I'm pretty sure either I got that game for like $20 or even when it was on sale for cheaper. You know, I think they're a great series. I think, you know, the story on them's okay. I don't think there's anything crazy, but I think the story is pretty good. And I think the gameplay is pretty fun too. Now, is this game gonna have that end game progression like other ARPGs? I don't know. I've only seen a little limited speckle of it. So it's hard to say if it's going to be worth, you know, later on down the road. But I have about 46 hours into the game, I believe. And so far I'm having a good time with it. I'm taking my time, you know, clearing areas. Like, I'm constantly like 2 levels above everything. So maybe that's why it's helping out too. So, I mean, I don't know. It's so far, I gotta say, not too many big complaints with it. And honestly, it just released too. So who knows? You know, there's a lot of time yet to come for more stuff to be added to the game. So that is going to do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope maybe it gave you some clarity, maybe spawned some new questions. I mean, I don't know. I mean, let me know. Let me know what class you're playing. Let me know what you think of the game. And, you know, let me know. I'd love to find out what people are thinking of this game. And maybe, you know, let me know. Is there an end game? Is it worth spending my time to get there and play it? You know, let me know. Let me know if I'm making a mistake or if I'm making a good decision here. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Like always, tell someone you love them. Take it easy.